rigging.
We're over here fighting a big battle of recons making bacon.
Oh man, I fucking played all the other guys are shooting.
I know, I'm just messing.
You know, it's like, what's this big?
Welcome everyone. This is our first video in a series of builds that we use, that our team uses, kind of how we like to play. I kind of play in an all-around position, and my main archetype is handler healer. But my weapons and everything that I use, is independent of what archetype you play, and it allows you to give quite a bit of support and deal some horrific damage. I refer to this as my Nikola Tesla, or you can call me Lord Raiden. It's all built around your mods and your elements. This one specifically electricity, and I'm using the Enigma for its electricity, and just the AR with some overflow rounds in it for the electricity. And a lot of people aren't going to have the Archon type for a while to use as their primary to get all their extra mod damage, but this is a build you can use pretty easily. Most of the stuff is pretty readily available. There's nothing like outrageously crazy you got to do to get any of this stuff. And I'll explain why I use everything and all that, but really, you can really use any armor type you want. This is just what I like. It keeps me at 50, so I've still got good mobility. But the amulet I use is Ankh of Power, and you get that on Root Earth in the Ashen Wasteland. It's the final world. And I like using it. There's others that you can use for mod, like we could use the electricity mod in this, right here, the shock device. It get an extra 20% to shock and 50% to overload, but I just like the straight 15% across the board to everything damage. That applies to everything, all your mods, every bullet, every hit of your sword, whatever you use it. So it's a fantastic amulet to use. Now, any of this stuff can be swapped out. Any of it can, and this is really built around your mods and the speed that they're going to come back, so you can almost have endless mod usage on your weapons. And I like using the AR with the overflow rounds because it gives me electricity rounds, and then it overloads a bunch of the enemies and they pop, which is fantastic, and it damages other people. Now, you're going to get your element stones from Reggie over here at the ward. They're 500 each, shock, fire, or corrosive. And you're just going to apply whatever one to whatever element you're using in this build. But it really solely goes around the Stone of Malevolence, which you get in, you get it in Losum at the Gilded Chamber before the Red Prince fight. And this will give you 15% additional mod power by anything that has elemental damage being done to it. So anytime you shock something with your Enigma or any of your shock rounds, it's going to increase your recharge time by 15%. And I'm going to show you this in a minute. Now, the other one that I love to use and I always keep on is the Cataloger's Jewel. And you get this... This is a little weird one to get. You get it in Losum, and it's at the Beatific Palace. It's the palace where you fight the boss either night or day, and you take the Beatific Palace. There's videos on how to get every one of these items that you can go look up. But this automatically generates 8 mod power per second. So even when you're doing nothing, your mod power is still ticking up, which is absolutely fantastic for those little bits of downtime in between fights where you may not be firing those rounds, where you may not be actually putting elemental damage on something. You're still getting mod generation and elemental generation from that. And then this one you can switch in and out. And I like Zoe's Ring for the mod duration. So they have a longer burn time or a longer zap time. That effect time burns longer, so you get a longer recharge. Now, the one that I will swap it out with is, where did it go? right here, the Shard Banded Ring, which increases mod damage by 12%. So you can either take the extra damage, or you can take the extra mod duration time. And I like the time on Zoe's Ring, but it's situational. Most of the time I'll run Zoe's Ring, but for bosses I will flip it to the Shard Banded Ring. So it's one that I'll flip out. And whatever element you want to use, it's really easy to flip these out. So what I would do, I have one that I call Endless Fire. I have a corrosive build that goes around the nebula. You go over to the nebula and you use that, and you use corrosive. You flip to the corrosive ring. Boom. You flip over to the corrosive rounds over on your main weapon, and you can flip in and out just that easy. If you want to do a fire build, boom, over here. You take a weapon that you've preset. I love Witchfire. But you could use Witchfire, you can use the Tornado, you can use the explosive gun that you get from Root Earth, you can use the Star Shot. Anything that deals big fire damage, you put on there, and you just use it to match. If you've got a fire sword, use that. And you just match your element, and the generation that's going to come from it, it's literally endless. And I'm going to show you right now, and then I'll just leave you with some random gameplay from Nightmare footage of us just out playing and the damage that this thing does, and it just melts. This, even without having Archon in your prime slot to give all the extra mod damage and power and all that, this still works. And we play Nightmare all the time. So here's just get a little reload. We're gonna pop it off. And I've got 7. You know what? I've got 7 of these. So let's just fire these off right now. And we'll just clear these, and we'll show you how quick. So this generation that you see right now, this uptick of the bolt that I just fired out, that's just the passive generation from the Cataloger's Jewel. That 8%. Or 8 per second. It just click, click, click. So even when you're idle, it's going up, which is fantastic. Now watch how fast it goes up when you kick your mod. 1, 2, 3. It's up. 2, 3. Look, it's just climbing. It's endless. It is endless, and it does stupid damage. And the Enigma and the Nebula are your 2 crowd control weapons. So you can choose electric, you can choose corrosive, and I forget the name of the one that you get from Root Earth. The weapon, it's a little hand flamethrower that I don't have. It's a hand flamethrower, and it's got an explosive round. So those are your 3 elemental pistols that you want to use in this build. And then just whatever main weapon you want, take your pick, move the build around you. This is just what I use. And it's got pretty great all-around stats. I've got really decent damage reduction, crit chance, healing effectiveness, and all in all, it really is a fantastic all-around build. Use it to your playstyle, but most importantly, man, have fun in the game. And if you play with friends, play with buddies, that's really the way to go. And you can get really creative. I don't need to use my heal often because we have a pretty dedicated support character with the guys that we play with. But I'm Jedi, guys. Enjoy. I'm gonna leave you some footage right here, and we will see you next time. Hit that like, the subscribe, all that happy horse shit that social media likes from you. Do all that if you enjoy the content, and we'll see you next time.